Hello and welcome back to the Cryptic Twist. I'm Alex Jones and today we're looking at a Mail Online crossword for the 31st of May. So let's get started. So one across, start docking vessel after nightfall. I wonder here where this might be dusk. I'm not sure on this, but start docking looks like it could be the letter D, the start letter of docking. And then nightfall could be dusk. But that would mean that there's a word usk meaning vessel, which is not impossible. Could be a boat, could be a piece of crockery, like a jug or something. I'm not sure. Let's try and test either one of these. Gems for suit, diamond. Okay, so that suddenly feels a lot better, doesn't it? Or diamonds. So diamonds there, double definition. It's a gem, it's a playing card suit. So let's come back and dusk. So yeah, nightfall I think is our definition. D, start docking. Let's test this S then. Quit, rejecting good sticky stuff. That feels less good, doesn't it? If you quit, you stop, you cease, you end. So I'm thinking this is a word for quit that's 6 letters, and then we reject good. Good can be shortened to G, and we would take that out of it. But does that start with an S is the question. Let's use one of these other crossing letters and see if we can justify it. Wait, not write on cue. Again, that might be a word that means wait, that is 6 letters, and we're taking the right, the letter R, out of it. If something is on cue, then it's on time. It's, although not right could be an anagram indicator for on cue. We've got the O. Ounce, yes. As always with cryptic crosswords, splitting the clue in the right way is important because there can be multiple readings of it. Pudding about, to be brought back for poor scholar. Might it be a pudding that is around the word, that's around OT, so to be brought back. We've got the word to and we're bringing that back, then it might be OT, and a word for pudding might be around it. And that might give us a poor scholar. Dunce. Pudding could be spotted dick. Could we just put that as dick? If we did, where would an OT go in it? Doesn't feel like that's quite the right bit, does it? Alright, 9 across. Soccer EAM, EAM, that must be a misspelling of team. Soccer team that's second in sporting venue by lake. So with 7 letters, sporting venue might be an arena. Second could be abbreviated to S. Lake could be abbreviated to L. That would give us our right number of letters. So, and that could just be a linking word here. So a soccer team. Yeah, that is right, isn't it? Because arena is going to go there. We've got our L at the end, and we've got our S for second there. So yeah, second. So arena with an S inside, L on next to it. Great. Quit. Rejecting good. I don't like this dusk, I don't think, anymore. a jug, a cup. An ewer is a vessel, but it's obviously too many letters. Resign. Yes. So if we quit, R-E-S-I-G-N, we take out the G, we get resin, which is sticky stuff. So like a pine resin is, it's what they use in baseball illegally in baseball to make the ball sticky. They wipe it on the ball to throw it with more spin. Resin, highly viscous, sticky, flammable thing. Brilliant. Okay. Dark. Yeah. And the vessel is the ark, as in Noah's Ark. Cool. We got there. And managed to use the wrong thought of dusk and not get too waylaid by it. Brilliant. Narrow opening in a northern river. This will provide more room. A narrow opening in a northern river. A northern river could be the name of a river in the north, maybe of England, maybe not. Or we could manage to shorten that to 3 letters, A for A, N for northern, as in the compass points north, south, east, west, and river can be abbreviated to R. We've got an N here, so what if we're putting that there, and we're putting a 3-letter word for a narrow opening in there to get something that will provide more room. Doesn't feel ridiculous. Does this work here then? Pudding about 2. So if we're doing what we said earlier, having the 2 about, it feels like it needs to go there now. It can't go later because this potential R might be in the way. It can't go earlier because DT doesn't feel like it's going to be useful. We've got an R here now. So what would a pudding be? Is there anything a pudding could be other than a dessert of some sort? For poor scholar. If we think the T might go there, can we do anything with it here? Agriculture in distant China. The word in there makes me think this could be a hidden. I'm not sure why. No, it doesn't feel likely, does it? So maybe that isn't what we're doing with the 2. I don't know. Well, let's bear that A and R in mind. But I'm not seeing it, so let's come over here. One's not prepared for these remarks. One's not. Prepared could be an anagram indicator, but I'm not seeing 6 letters. Like, one's not is 7. Even if you have 1 being the Roman numeral I, then we've got I's not, which is only 5. Yeah. One's not prepared. And 2 letters and then 4 letters. So this first bit is going to be like at or on for these remarks. One's not prepared for these remarks. It feels like it could be a cryptic clue. I'm not saying it. Let's try a different one. Films for which no actors are required. No actors is 8 letters. If we're saying those letters are required, that might be an anagram indicator. It feels a little on the weak side, but it's possible. If that was the case, films, this is probably a plural, so probably ends in an S. So we can test that hypothesis by looking at here. Something to attract shoppers in Jerusalem. Okay, well that S really helps actually. The word in here I think is indicating a hidden. So something to attract shoppers, and that's going to be hidden in the word Jerusalem. We have sale. So that, whether or not this is an anagram, that's a positive sign for this meaning films, I think. So what could this be then? Films, no actors, cartoons. Yes. Oh, so while it was an anagram, it's also kind of an and-lit, isn't it? The whole clue is the wordplay. Nearly the whole clue is the wordplay, but also the whole clue is the definition. So films for which no actors are required, that fits the definition of cartoons. And then for which no actors are required is the wordplay. I don't think films quite works in that bit, but yeah, it's pretty good. So that does look like it's going to be at, doesn't it? One's not prepared. Could that be anything else? Let's think. It could be as. Could be as. It feels less likely. Could be an. That doesn't feel likely. It feels like it's going to be at, but I'm not sure. All right, let's carry on. One who accepts teak could be right. So given that we've got this T here, given that we've got could be and then right at the end. Also, this reads quite nicely as a sentence. One who accepts teak could be right. The flow of words is nice. It doesn't feel like there's any bits in there that are particularly out of place. I don't think the clue as a whole really makes sense. I guess maybe a carpenter is suggesting that teak might be the right wood, but otherwise it's a weird noun to have in a sentence for that. So accepts here, I think I can see what it is, and I think I'm about to... my first instinct was to say that accepts feels like it's a positional word, so one, and then that's going to accept a word for teak. I don't think that's what's actually going on. I think accept is part of the definition. I think our definition is one who accepts, and I think could be here is an anagram indicator. Again, quite a weak one, I think. No, maybe it's okay. But I think we're going to have take as our anagram, and then right, as we said before, can just be the letter R. And that gives us taker. So one who accepts, one who takes something, is a taker. I'd almost expect that to be a weak enough definition. It's not going to be sort of very... I don't think it'll be in the dictionary. Let's have a look. Taker. Okay, a person who takes something. Entirely reasonable then. I was thinking it's a little bit of a kind of, you know what it means, but it's not necessarily a real word sort of thing. So I was going to suggest maybe it wanted a question mark, but I take that back. Funereal sound a little girl heard. Is there a word? I'm thinking because of the K and the L. Is there a word like kneel or something that means a funeral bell? Like a bell, that sort of sad, slow bell chime that you would have. I can't make that work with a little girl heard though. So heard here I think is going to be a homophone indicator. So maybe... Oh, knell. No, it is right, isn't it? So it's not... I was thinking it would be like kneel, but I think it's... Or I was thinking originally kneel like that, but I think it's knell. So yeah, a funereal sound. I think a knell, a death knell, is that sort of dung, dung, very slow, very low, very sonorous bell that you get. I think I've heard it as much as anything as a sound effect in films, but I think that's what we're going for. And then a little girl, heard is a homophone indicator. A little girl might be Nell. Admittedly, I think that would be spelled N-E-L. Is there a book, Nell something? Nell name. Name Nell is a pet form of other names. Helen, Cornelia. Yeah, so little girl feels reasonable. It's a small name. Let's just look up Nell as well. For the most part, this one's going really well today, I think. The sound made by a bell when struck. Knell meaning. Especially when running solemnly for a death or funeral. Yes, brilliant. So we've got 2 crossing letters for this, but O and E are a little bit difficult. Although it's a 3-letter word to start with, so it's almost got to be 1, right? Former opener for Essex. Former. Onetime? Yes. So opener for Essex is E, and it's this E particularly. If you are punctual, then you're on time, and the E is going to enter that. It's going to be inside of it. Okie dokie. Outdoor party doll. A party might be a do. If we're saying that party is do, because of the letters we've got, that would have to go here. And that would imply that maybe doll is the second part of the wordplay. The fact you got this question mark here makes me think for some reason that doll is going to be the definition. Also, of note, this is not good for us because we've got 2 words which look like we're going to be uncertain of that are going to interact, and where we're probably hoping for the crossing letter from the other one. So that's going to be our pinch point on this puzzle, maybe. Fingers crossed there, because if it's not, then something else is worse. If something's outdoor, it's al fresco, it's a garden, it's wild, it's... I'm not saying that. If we do like that as do, a party as do, what could this be? One's not prepared these remarks could be ad libs though. I saw this D and for some reason thought, what if it goes up there? So that does feel then like another and lib, doesn't it? If one's not prepared for these remarks, then you're going to have to ad lib it. It feels good. Okay, so doll here is going to be a Barbie, and an outdoor party might be a barbecue, which we might informally refer to as a Barbie. Okay, that feels good then, that feels good. Barbecue should be front of mind for me because I am going to a barbecue later today, but clearly it wasn't. Front of mind, that is. Alright, what have we got then? Somehow manage to form party. Sorry, I got those the wrong way around. Manage somehow to form party. Manage is 6 letters. We've got an E in there, and somehow could be an anagram indicator. So it could be that this is an anagram. If it was, and it's 4 letters and 2 letters, what could our 2 letters be at the end? If you were to form a party and we've got no crossing letters here and no indication that might be an anagram, if we're forming a party, I might say it's team up. That doesn't look right, does it? Not if we assume that it's an anagram. We've got then game an. I think we've looked at everything with crossing letters now. You might have to go to a different place and start again. Cast away off course. Might throw something to cast it away. I'm not seeing it immediately. It feels like it might be a double definition. Like, of course, feels like a phrase that could be a single word. Cast away feels like it could be a single word. It's short enough that wordplay is difficult to get in there. Unless it's an anagram of course. If course is off, that might be right. Let's just explore that before moving on. Or castaway might be an offcut. Could course mean cut? Maybe in like a... I think I could use them synonymously in terms of like travel. Like if a car courses past me, does it cut past me? Am I being a little bit wishful in order to get some letters? Possibly. Let's not discount that. But it does give us some potential good crossing letters. Let's see if we like this C or this T or this F and see what we've got. Letter from leaders of Senate, implicitly glorifying Mark Antony. No, I don't like that then. So I think this one here. So what have we got? Leaders implies first. A leader could imply a first letter. I think we've seen that already. And leaders here, I think, implies multiple first letters. So if we take the first letters of Senate implicitly glorifying Mark Antony, then we get sigma, which is a Greek letter. So in this clue, letter is our definition. The rest of it is the wordplay, which puts paid to offcut. But let's see, maybe we can make the off part still work, and there's a different word for cut that we can, or a different word for course that we can use. Offset. I don't think I'm seeing that. Let's see if we can get some crossing letters. Let's go with this G for now. Performing murder. I mean, again, good can be shortened to G, which makes me think we might have a 4-letter word for murder here. I think where before in this I've said that question marks can be indicative of it not being necessarily in the a sort of dictionary definition. I wonder here if it's used to make the clue read better, to make so you can have good at the end where it's not kind of in a sentence. I'm not seeing it though. What could murder be? Kill. What other cross clues have we not looked at actually? No, let's carry on with the crossing letters. A sort of craftsman, English, wild one. So English wild one would make me think that maybe it is maybe it's a anagram. So English is 7, have that wild with 1 and I afterwards. This A precludes that. A sort is also an anagram indicator. Craftsman is 9 letters, that's too many. I'm assuming there's a type of craftsman that we're looking for. So carpenter, metallurgist, welder, don't know. If we get this, then that feels like it's going to be useful. Cutter does sums out loud. So it feels like loud is a homophone indicator and out loud is a homophone indicator. So maybe sums, we're looking for a word that sounds like a word that means sums, and that will be a synonym for cutter. Also, that will sound, a word for sums will sound like a synonym for cutter. There we go. Cutter could be a knife. Is it a type of boat? I'm not seeing that one. Alright, what other cross clues have we not looked at yet? nothing interrupting dance band. So nothing could be mathematically nothing can be 0. Therefore, in cryptic crossword land, nothing can be an O. Can we think of a 3-letter word for a dance that nothing could interrupt, could go inside? So I'd have the O there or there. So if it was a jig, for example, then a joig or something. That's what I'm imagining. Could be, or maybe it's not a band as in, I'm thinking band because of the phrase dance band. But what if it's not a band and it's like a ring? A hoop. It's a hoop. So the dance is going to be a hop, and we're going to have nothing that is interrupting that going inside. So we've got 2 crossing letters here, both at the end. One's a P, which is possibly more useful. Protagonist hides somewhere in New Zealand. I'm immediately thinking Frodo. He is a protagonist in Lord of the Rings. Certainly somewhere in New Zealand. I don't think that's what we're going for, though. In, I would often suggest, could be a hidden indicator. It doesn't look like it. Maybe the definition is somewhere in New Zealand. I don't know my New Zealand towns particularly well, but maybe. What Steeplejack did, being agitated. I mean, 2-letter word at the end, so 6 and 2. 2-letter word at the end feels like it's going to be up. Why does Steeplejack jump up, or in the past tense, jumped up? If you're agitated, you would jump up. Let's have a look at what a steeplejack is, because I don't know. Steeplejack meaning a person who climbs tall structures such as chimneys and steeples. That'd be what steeplejack does if it's climbs, because that's present tense. I mean, something up feels good for being agitated. If you're riled up, if you're... Yeah. Again, I think some crossing letters on that will help us a little bit, but we've got an idea, I think, of what that's going to be. I think it's going to be double definition. What Steeplejack did being one definition and being agitated is the second. Criminal employed by shepherd. That's a double definition as well. So a criminal might be a crook, and a shepherd's crook is the staff with the sort of sickle-shaped end used for grabbing a sheep by the neck. Also used to amusing effect in on stage to yank someone off in cartoons. Soreness in a North German city. With a C there, I'm thinking like ache or something for soreness, but I'm not sure. Like north could be that. And then a German city, if we've got a German city for 4 letters. German city, how do you spell Cologne in German? Is it Köln? I mean, it's not that clearly because that's not a word. I don't think that's a word. Let's test the hypothesis of that being an A. Manage somehow to form party. If you form a party, you make up a party, so that feels good. I don't think it's great in terms of manage somehow, though. If it was make up, then I'd be using it in like the form of, oh, he's managing, he's not sure what he's doing. He's managing the team, he's not sure what he's doing, so he's making it up. It's very, very loose, I think, but I quite like the up ending. Like, the various different things that we've thought about have had that. Spiked up. If you're agitated, you get spiked up. And steeplejacks climb tall structures such as steeples, which is a spike shape, isn't it? A steeple. So I think they've spiked up. Oh, no. They've got their shoes, don't they, which probably have spikes on them. Yeah, that feels more reasonable. Okay, so if we like that, then we're thinking that is going to be a U. Doesn't necessarily help us. We don't know that that's an A. One with right animal for the country. So I'm imagining this is like, I want to say the definition is country, and that for there is just linking our definition and wordplay, but no real reason to think that at this point. One with right animal could be that, and then the word for an animal at the end, but I'm not seeing that, I don't think. Are there any more cross clues we've not looked at? No, I think that was the last one. Okay, what have we got in terms of down clues then? Agriculture in distant China, we thought about. Oh, I'm actually finding that easier without any crossing letters. I just saw that one. So agriculture is going to be farming. Distant China, something as distant it is far. And China, not as in the country, well, kind of. China itself is a synonym of two things, isn't it? It's the country and it is sort of pottery. So a Ming vase would be China from China. So farming, I think, is our answer there. Gives us some crossing letters. Ruins a lot of what we had there. With an F there, I wonder if this could be a plum duff or similar. So if we go back to what we had before, duff, and then 2 to be brought back. A duffer could be a poor scholar. Can we make that work? Pudding about to be. To be could be is. If we're bringing that back and having pudding around it. No. I feel like that should be very doable with a D and an F. There's not many words it could be. A poor scholar. Not sure. Anyway, we're looking at down clues, weren't we? Okay, we're looking at across clues. So what else have we got? Narrow opening in Northern River we had a look at. Weren't sure of. Colour as used by Spencer is eye-catching. So Spencer here is a weird word. I can't think what that would mean. So concentrating on that, I have seen that we've got this CER ending, which gives us cerise. I'm sure that cerise is a colour. I've no idea what colour cerise is. In my mind, the only thing I can positively say that cerise is a character from 30 Rock. But there's a number of girls' names that are colours. Amber, pearl, ruby. Some of those are gem names. Violet. Some of those are flower names. But it's very possible. So cerise, what is it then? A light clear red colour. Wouldn't have guessed that. I would have guessed blue. I think I was maybe thinking of cerulean. Thank you, Pokemon. Looking at that, I was just wondering if forager would do anything. Like something ager feels okay, doesn't it? But I'm not sure. Okay, what else have we got? Oh, I think we've looked at everything at least once now. So now we're on the what can we do with the crossing letters that we now have. We've got an E on this. This does look like it is going to be an anagram, of course, doesn't it now? Very much so. So what have we got? We've got a C to go somewhere. C doesn't feel like it can go here. C doesn't feel like it could go there, though maybe it could. So if we think the C is going there, we've got the O and the U. So it's Crusoe. So Robinson Crusoe is our castaway. That makes some amount of sense. Performing. Murder. Doing is performing. And murder, okay, the question mark was relevant. I said it was probably just to make the clue read better. If you do someone in, if you do them in, if you do in someone, there we go, then that's murdering them, isn't it? So that one works. A cutter does sums. So if you do, so literally in Excel, summing, a sum formula adds, and I think summing and adding are generally pretty synonymous. So adds feels reasonable in terms of sums out loud, and it works with this D. But what's a cutter then? I'm not sure about that. I mean, also, sums plural, like it feels like it could have an S on the end. So it doesn't necessarily mean that even if we get this S in this word, it doesn't really prove or preclude that is adds. We're still in kind of dangerous territory there. A sort of craftsman, what have we got then? English. Wild one. English here is making me worried. So English can be shortened to E, and we can't have an E at the beginning. And if English wild one was our wordplay, that would imply to me that they should start with an E. If we're suggesting maybe it starts with a S, then E might go at the end, in which case our craftsman might be this 7 letters at the beginning. And a wild one, I'm not sure. Alternatively, what if that isn't an E, an S, and it is an E? English could be ENG as well as E. Engraver. A wild one would be a raver, yes. And a craftsman is an engraver, so that works. Does sums out loud. If you're doing sums, then you're adding. If something is a cutter, it's sharp, it's a knife, it cuts, it shears, but cutter sounds like it's going to be a noun, doesn't it? It feels like it will start with a vowel for some reason. And this, we theorised, this might start with I for one from the Roman numeral and right, didn't we? So that feels good. Ireland. And eland is some sort of deer, isn't it? So Ireland there feels right. Let's have a look at eland. I'm sure, though, that is spiral-horned African antelope. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, Oh, no, this is fine. I was going to say I really don't know New Zealand, and these letters do not help us in coming up with a name. But actually, this O something A something O, protagonist hides, how much clearer can a clue be that something could be a hidden? We've got this O, and then T, and then the A, and then G, and then the O. This is Otago, presumably. A city or county or equivalent that I have never heard of, but must be right. Let's have a look. Otago. It does look like it's a thing. It's a region. Yeah. Okie dokie. I mean, that felt like it was going to be tricky, but that turned out to be very fair. So I think that's fine. In a North German city. Soreness. Soreness in A North. What if soreness is an ache and A North going around it is that? But this double A feels dodgy in terms of spelling of a German city. Let's just have a. Apparently it is. Yeah, Aachen. So again, it's a place we've never heard of, but we've kind of got there. And again, with the crossing letters on this, don't really help, do they? So maybe this is makeup. And why would it be makeup and not made up? Manage somehow feels like it's present tense. I think that's my best guess on that one. We'll hope on it. I think manage somehow. Makeup is a little bit weak if that is the synonym we're going for. But if it's something else that I'm just not seeing, well, in that case, probably fair play. Narrow opening in a northern river. And our pudding about to be brought back for poor scholar. Or, for this one, pudding about to. We've been concentrating on the to being brought back. What if the whole thing is being brought back? So that would still have our TO, but we'd have a word meaning poor student, where our four-letter pudding is coming back. Oh, I'm not sure on that one. And if we have that, then narrow opening in a northern river doesn't work, does it? This will provide more room. Or what if narrow opening is our definition? So instead of having a narrow opening 3 letters long that's here, we've got a 6-letter narrow opening. And again, we've got a northern river being A-N-R, but instead of the R being here, it's here. And then we've got something here that means, that could mean this will provide more room. That feels less likely, doesn't it? What rivers are there that... We've not really thought about northern rivers, have we? But how far north is north? Is the Tees a river, a northern river, for example? This will provide more room. An extension. Stretch. Spring clean. Throwing something away. This might be a thinker. I still like duffer here for a poor scholar. I just can't make the wordplay work on it. Because a duffer is an incompetent or stupid person, so it feels reasonable. I think at this point what I'm going to do is I'm going to check my answers and just see if we've got any problems in here and then take it from there. And while I'm doing that, I think I'm going to put in add down there, just to see if that one works as well. We've gone through kind of the meaning of it. Oh, hang on, before we do that, let's just check if add is there. No. Okay. Actually, let's take that one out. We'll do this and we'll see. Let's do it this way. Let's click check and see where we are. Let's check the puzzle. Oh, wow. I mean, of all of the bits that I thought we were good on or dodgy on, I thought this clue, makeup, was a bit dodgy, but I thought the up was fine and the make was the dodgy bit. Make do. If you form something, you make it, and a party is a do. Okay. And if you manage with a situation, you make do with it. Okay. What a steeplejack did. Steeplejack, in the same way as they might put on their spikes, they might hook up, attach a hook. Being agitated doesn't feel like it means hooked up though, does it? If something is agitated, you might shake it up, but that doesn't really seem to work. I don't know. Let's go with hooked up, and we'll check again, shall we? Well, we've got one letter more right in there, but yeah, it's not there. So I'm thinking now that this one here is like a 3. You've got a name of a river in the north, maybe, and then a narrow opening inside that. And down here, what if we spell ads very differently? So ADSE. It's a tool for shaping and smoothing. And if you're shaping something, might that be by cutting it? Let's just check that word. Oh God, so close. Oh, you know what? I don't know. Let's reveal each of these one by one. I think this puzzle has stumped me today. Felt like it was going really well earlier, but yeah, just some bits at the end. Ads with a Z. I mean, we understood the clue, I think. I just had no idea that an ads, a type of axe, was a thing. Okay, let's reveal this one. A narrow opening in a northern river. What have we got? An annex. An annex provides more room. Narrow opening is the letter N. We've seen that a number of times, and that's in a northern, A-N, and the river is the X, E-X-E. Wow. I mean, that does do everything that it suggests it did. We weren't passing that clue quite correctly. I think we got close a couple of times, didn't we? I think if we'd looked at narrow opening as being the letter N, then I think we would have probably got there, and we should have seen that, to be honest. We've seen it a number of times in this clue. So finally, what Steeplejack did being agitated, what we're going to have. Let's reveal the word. Worked up, because they're working up high. Okay, that does mean agitated. Oh, so that felt like a tricky one today. I think I did quite well with some of the clues. I think, like, ad-libs could have been one that tripped us up for a bit. I think we did well with some of these words that we just did not know the actual word for. I still don't understand this one, the wordplay on this. Putting about, to be brought back. If anyone can see the answer, the wordplay on that one, then leave it in the comments. I am just not seeing it. But yeah, for the most part, I think that was tough. But we got there for most of it, so clearly a lot of it was reasonably fair. But yeah, I'd be interested to know if anyone else tried this one, if anyone else found this one more difficult, whether this was just me. But yeah. Okay, we're back tomorrow with another day's May Cryptic Crossword, and given that it's the weekend, there might be another video posted as well. As always, if you enjoyed what you saw, please do like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And until next time, thank you very much, and happy crosswording.